Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. I hope you're all well. My light's not on. Gosh, good start to this, isn't it? There we go. That's a bit better. You can see me now, although I don't know necessarily if that is a good thing. Let's dive straight in. I know it's a bit of a late one. Sadly, I do have work finishing at a hard stop. Well, at 5:30, so I couldn't get here any sooner than I can. But we are here. We've got half an hour to go until the deadline. I have not confirmed my transfers. I just need to shut my door. Honestly, so well prepared for this. But one transfer, well, I've got 2 free transfers, but I think I'm going to make just one of them. Foden is likely to be out. It doesn't sound like he's going to be fit to play this week, and then the weekend again comes so quickly. So although I think he's probably going to be fine for the weekend, I'm going to downgrade him, take a little bit of money out, go to some players who I think are also potentially going on a bit of a run, and we'll talk about those replacements in just a moment. But say hello in the chat if you are here already. Nice to see 60, almost 70 of you guys in here already and watching. So please do drop your name, say hello, any questions in the chat section that you see there. But let's dive straight into it. Say a few hellos. Just before I do, a reminder to everyone that from tomorrow, which is the 1st of December, all the money, as it says over on the other side, that I earn from YouTube, now it isn't that much, but it goes to charity during the month of December. So from tomorrow, super chats, donations, memberships, or just watching the videos, so all advert views do go to charity. So if you do want to join as a member for a month, there are 2 tiers. You can always go and check that out from tomorrow, but the last stream that we will have, the last anything we'll have until that starts tomorrow. So Slivo, Magic Master, Nuclear, Ahmed, Green Arrow, Nick, James, Chris, Thomas, Simon, Johnny, let's rattle through. Alexander, good evening, everyone. I am. We have a member. Arctic, Borisha, Ragav, Saeed, James. I'll get to that membership in just a moment. Sun, Neo, Neil Lewis, Henry, Ellis. Thank you, Westido Prajara, for joining as a tier 1 member. Feel free to start, typing in the chat. You'll have a little badge next to your name, and you will also have some emojis to use as well. I know some of you probably think I want to join as a member to support charity for 1 month and then I want to cancel it, which is absolutely fine. But just a reminder that if you sign up for a membership tonight, in theory, it won't be counted as a membership towards charity. It will be put in for November. So if you are doing that, then wait till our next stream, which will probably be on Saturday morning. But if you want to join as a member anyway, thank you very much for doing that. We are up and running for the evening. So before we get into all of that, I am going to just want to go and confirm my transfer, I think. So who have we got? Questions, Dyer or White? If I had to bring one in, I'd still buy White, I think, long term, but probably for this game week, Dyer is a better shout. What are my thoughts on Maddison? I just feel like I've been burnt enough times with Maddison that I'm not going to go back there, but I can see over the next 3 game weeks why he could be a very decent short-term punt. Alonso captain locked in. I think he'll start this week. I think he's not a bad option, but I just can't look past the Egyptian king himself. My captaincy armband is on Salah, so yeah, that's where it is. Hope you're good. What do I think about early transfer of Rudiger to Alonso after the deadline? It's not bad. I don't like doing those early transfers until we get potential sort of news on the Chelsea lineup until that game has gone. So I'd want to wait and see what happens in that game first. Play Hwang or Smith Rowe? Play Hwang or Smith Rowe? I would play Hwang out of the 2. I know he's not looked great in recent weeks, but it's probably the option that I would go with. Sorry, let me shut my laptop. Let me put it on mute, actually. Ooh. There we go. Lamptey or Hwang? I'd probably start Hwang out of the 2. I think there's a chance that Lamptey gets a rest this week, so I'd probably go with him. You were right somehow. So, Cease James rested for West Ham. I think there's a chance that he gets rested for West Ham. We don't have anything confirmed, not that I've seen that's legit anyway. But at the time of recording, I'm starting James, but there is a chance that that he does get rested this week. Mbuemo to Gundogan, you have Tony. Definitely a nice move. Let me make my move. It's probably no surprise, but Gundogan is going to be my transfer replacement. Very annoyingly, I can't quite afford Livramento up to Alonso, although if I needed it, I will have 2 free transfers next week, which will allow me to do Foster downgraded to anyone in order to free up the money to do Alonso, or there are other options next week that I could go with as well. Foden out for Gundogan, so that is my planned transfer. I'm going to put slow mode on just because there seems to be a little bit of spamming going on, but not a long slow mode. Let me just whack that on. Cool. Make transfers. I've looked at it. I'm pretty happy with it. Confirm transfers. Foden to Gundogan. Confirm transfers. It leaves me money in the bank. I have a second transfer to use next week. I'm not going to use it tonight. I sadly don't have enough money to do Livramento to Alonso, which is what I wanted to do, but that is what I'm going to go and do this time. Trent Arnold, captain. Makes sense. I can definitely see why you'd want to do it. Everton have looked really poor recently, so there is a definite chance of a clean sheet in that game, but I'd want to be on Salah for that. I'm still happy with Trent, but I just love Salah. Although past recent weeks would explain, the past recent few weeks would probably advise you to go Trent over Salah, but yeah, I'm on Salah. He's not a bad option at all, though. I'm glad you're not the only one who hovers over the transfer button before clicking it. Yeah, it happens to me a while. Just got to check that everything I've put is exactly what I want. So let me just refresh this page and we can get my pick team up a bit zoomed in for you. There you go. Is Bernardo Silva not good enough, Harry? I think he's a good option, but I like Gundogan. Gundogan, once he's starting, is what I'd want to do. So if I know Gundogan's back in the team, which I think he is, he's playing well, then I think he's a better option. I don't dislike Bernardo Silva at all. I think he is also a good option. I do quite like him. A few of my rivals have got Gundogan as well. Gone Bernardo Silva. I think there's a good chance for me to go Gundogan over Bernardo Silva, but I could have gone with either of them in this team. Is Saka fit? I'd be surprised if Saka starts this week, to be honest. I know we've got no press conference before that Arsenal game, which is annoying, but it is what it is. I don't think he'll start this week. Any suggested strikers for 6.5 million? Probably Benteke, Armstrong, or Josh King if you can wait a couple of weeks. Yeah, Nuclear I can. Absolutely, guys. Can we just drop a like on the stream as well? That would be much appreciated. Start Tony or Trossard. Let me get the fixtures up, which are just down below here. Start Tony or Trossard. I'd probably go Trossard out of the two of those. So much easier to find your channel since the name change. Finn, that is music to my ears. That is exactly what I want to hear. I hope it is a little bit easier for you to find and it's popping up a little bit more. That was the aim. That was all I was trying to do. So I'm glad it's paying off. Is our transfer confirmed? Yep. So Foden has gone. Gundogan has come in. 7.2 million. Leaves me $1 million in the bank. Very happy with that. Got money to play around with next week, as well as taking 2 free transfers next week. Still pretty happy with my team. Wilson, if he gets booked, will obviously leave my team. Antonio, I'm pretty happy with, although he has a difficult fixture next week. The rest of my team, unless there's an injury, I'm still pretty happy with rolling with them all for next week, to be honest. Foster, you know, if I have nothing to do with my team next week, I think I'll probably do Foster downgrade, and that will free up a little bit of money for me. But would I bring in Alonso to play over Armstrong? Southampton are playing against, they're playing at home to Leicester. Would I bring in Alonso to bench Armstrong. Armstrong's looked pretty good. I probably would find somewhere else. I don't mind bringing in Alonso, but I think Armstrong's not a bad pick. Leicester have not looked great defensively, so I think there's a good chance of him playing. But if it had to go, I think Alonso in this week is a good pick. So Hwang or Tony, who would I start? So Tony's been better recently, but I think the last chance saloon on Hwang is probably where I'd go. His fixtures are good. His fixture is better than it is for Brentford, who are playing. They're not used to playing this many fixtures. Tottenham have got a bit more of a rest. I'd probably go Hwang out of the two of them. That being said, Wolves play a rested Burnley side as well. I still probably would go Hwang out of the two of them. It's pretty close though. I wonder what the percentage return odds. Let me look on Twitter. Sorry, I'm dawdling around your question, but I know you super chat Luke, so I just want to make sure. Let's see what Abdul says on the percentage return odds for this week. You've got, I think Tony comes out on top actually, anytime goal scorers. They're both not very high up, but it's emphasising Tony a little bit more. I'd probably play the fixture on Hwang personally, but it's pretty close. Start De Gea or Sanchez. I'd probably go De Gea out of the two. I think that could be a cagey game. Arsenal United. I'm not expecting loads of goals in that game. Charlie, how are we doing? Salah or Trent captain? It's just Salah for me. It's just definitely. I know Trent's been good recently, but Salah is the one that I would be backing this week again. I'm not moving my captaincy off Salah until he plays Chelsea in about game week 21. I think I'm just going to leave it there unless we get confirmation that he doesn't start this week or any week, which we don't have this week. So my captaincy armband is on Salah. Start Tony or Broha. Probably Broha. I think there's a good chance he starts this week. He looked really good. Che Adams wasn't quite at it. I think it'll be Broha along with Adam Armstrong up front for Southampton this midweek. Differential captain options. Well, basically anyone that's not Salah. Trent is still not a bad option. Alonso, if you have him. The Spurs guys I still think are not bad. I still wouldn't be moving it off Salah though. Captain Alonso or Trent. If you had to pick one, I'd still go Trent. That Everton attack are not good enough at all. That Everton side look really poor, so I'd probably go Trent. Start James or Hwang. So again, out of the two of them, I if you have James, I'd start him. I think there's a good chance that he is benched and arrested, but I don't think I would want to be taking the gamble on that unless you've got a really, really good backup option, which I don't think Hwang is. I wouldn't mind having him in my team, but I wouldn't take the gamble on James not starting in order to start him this week. Captain Trent or Jota? I would captain Trent out of the two. I'd probably captain Trent out of the two. Hi Kerala, how are we doing? Good evening to you. Nice to see you. It's really weird. I don't know whether it's filtered out all those emojis, because on the chat underneath me it said you've used the Salah emoji, but it doesn't show up in my chat. I don't think it will show up in anyone else's chat. It's like it's filtered out, but it hasn't filtered out of the bit underneath. Anyway, Mount as alternatives. I'd be getting rid of Mount now if you still own him. I would be getting rid of Mount. If I had to move to him, I still think those Bernardo Silva, Gundogan are the ones I'd go with. Their fixtures over Christmas are just really nice, too nice to ignore. So, yeah, that's where I would be going. Hi, Shahin. Welcome. Thank you. All the members are in tonight. Nice to see all you guys in, rocking your badges. It won't be long until some of you get an upgrade to a different colour badge as well. Hopefully that comes soon for some of you. It didn't filter out. I can see the pick of Salah. Oh, well, I didn't see it on my chat. But anyway, let's questions. Why did you get rid of Mount? He could be good for this week. Yeah, if you want to start Mount this week, fine. But generally, long term, I think it's time to sell them. It's time to sell him. So fine for this week, but I would be moving him on. FPL Aussie, Kane and Norman to Jota. And Wilson worth a -4. You've got Huang, Kane and Norman to Jota and Wilson worth a -4. The issue is, if I wouldn't do that, I probably wouldn't do that, because if Wilson gets a booking tonight, he misses the next game. And then in 2 weeks' time, you'll want to sell Wilson anyway. That's the issue with it. I would probably not do those moves, but I try. Yeah, Norman's injured. I don't know if you can find a better replacement for him with your transfer, but I don't love bringing in Wilson when he's on 4 yellow cards. Bench order: White, Livramento, Davies. Livramento, White, Davies. It's the same as. Sorry, that is the same as what I've got here. Should you start Saka? Would you do Saka to Gundogan? Yeah, I don't think Saka. I think there's a chance he plays, but I think he'll fail his late fitness test. Now, it is a big game, and then they can rest him at the weekend, which is a very big possibility, but I wouldn't be taking the gamble this week when I think there's going to be enough rotation elsewhere, and I would be moving him on. And yeah, Gundogan is definitely a good replacement. Mbuemo or Livramento first on the bench? Probably Mbuemo. I think Livramento will concede this week, so I'm just hoping I don't need him. Cancelo's also on 4 yellow cards as well. Yep. So if he picks one up and Wilson pick one up this week, I'm in the mud a little bit. But Foden to Rafinha. Rafinha is good for the next 2. I don't like Leeds without Bamford, so no, I wouldn't be buying Rafinha as a Foden replacement. Who should be my first bench option out of King and Livramento? So I would probably go Livramento out of the 2. I don't back Watford. He hasn't been explosive as well. I don't expect a return from either of them this week. But Chelsea against Watford, I still would back Watford. I'd back Chelsea and I'd back Watford not to score in that one. So I would probably go and do it that way around. 1 free transfer and 0.2 in the bank. Would I do Rudiger to Alonso? You already have James. If you've got nothing else to do with your free transfer, I probably would do that. Pretty positive comments from Tuchel on Alonso this afternoon. So I'd be pretty confident he plays. Not every game, like that's not going to happen, but we know that with every player. But majority, I'd be pretty happy of going and making that move. Start Gallagher or Rafinha. I feel like you've got to find a place to have both of those in your team. I'm really surprised your squad is so strong that you are benching one of Gallagher or Rafinha. If you have to bench one of Gallagher and Rafinha, I'd probably bench Gallagher, but it's pretty tight. Simply FPL, how are we doing? As you can see, I was mentioned earlier, if you are a member for long enough, your badge colour gets upgraded. Simply FPL has had the first upgrade from white to green. Welcome, nice to see you. How was your stream earlier? I feel like you were making a move when I went in, but then I couldn't stick around. First bench, White or Broha? Broha, definitely. I think we'll start this week with Southampton and home to Leicester. They've not been great defensively, so Sam, they're all waiting for tomorrow to become a member so that they can support charity during December. You put Zaha as first bench, Livramento second. Benching Zaha again against Leeds. Really? You've got such a strong bench that you are benching Zaha against Leeds. I'm surprised by that. He's blanked in the past 2, but he's been good. There's been chances of returns for him in those games. So, yeah. Decent stream. You love the nighttime streams. You're rolling a transfer. Oh, fair enough. I'm using one of my 2. I've used it. Foden to Gundogan. My bench isn't strong enough to absorb a Foden benching again. Although I think he's not a bad option. But is Bernardo good? Yeah, I'd probably. I mean, I've made the transfer tonight and I've gone Gundogan over Bernardo. I don't think he's a bad option at all. So, yeah. You're going with the sub 10-cent donation in December. Started it today already. 200 subs. With the sub is 10p donation in December. Started today already. 200 subs. Worth thinking yourself next time. Maybe I'll think about it. Play Rafinha and bench Rudiger. That's quite tough. Again, your squad so strong that you are choosing between Rafinha and Rudiger. I'd probably start Rafinha, but it's pretty tight. I just think the explosive nature of Rafinha is probably slightly better, but it's 50-50. It's a great fixture for lead. So I'd probably want to start him. Will Pulisic get a good run of fixtures? Again, I wouldn't be buying a Chelsea attacker. I've spoken a little bit about this on Twitter. I would probably think about, if you got him for 1 or 2 weeks, then fine. You will... Sorry, simply FPL. I'm so confused. Member for 2 tiers. Harry's tier 1 basic. Does that mean you've renewed? But you were already a member. Does it not auto renew? I don't know how that works. But thank you for... I think it auto renews, but you get to announce it as we're viewing it. But I don't know. Don't quite know. Yes, this is my team. I'm not going to change it before the deadline. Jaden, tier 2 membership for you. You get all of this information and access to my DMs, although just asking my team to be locked in is going to be an exciting DM conversation between the pair of us every week. But yeah, this is locked in. I'm not changing this. Play Hwang or Mbeumo. I'd probably play Hwang. And Mbeumo's not been good. Not been good recently. There's a chance he doesn't start this week, I think. I'd be benching Mbeumo if I could. James and Cancelo probably will get rotated this week, right? Cancelo maybe not. Cancelo maybe not. I've got Livramento. I just need one of them to get on the pitch at some point. I just don't really want White against United. But if I had Alonso, who would I bench? If I brought in Livramento for Alonso, well, this is it. I'd probably bench... I might bench James and take the chance he doesn't start, but I think that's crazy. So I haven't done that second transfer this week because I don't know what I would do if I owned Alonso instead of Livramento. Yes, Jaden, final team. Slick, thank you for subscribing. Welcome. Start Moura or Gallagher, Rafinha. Start Moura or Gallagher. I would Gallagher, Rafinha, Antonio. If I could only... Jinesh, I don't quite understand your question. If I downgraded Foden to Gundogan, you can get Livramento to Alonso without hit. Should I go for it? Yeah, that was what I was going to do, but I'm 0.1 short of it. I am 0.1 short, and I don't know who I'd bench, to be fair. If I had this team every week with Alonso first on my bench, not bad. It's not a bad option at all, and I might find a way to get to it, but this week I'd be looking at my team thinking, I know I'm going to bench some points. Callum Hudson-Odoi or Tony, who would I start out of the two? I think there's a chance Hudson-Odoi gets a rest, but I'd probably still start him. No, I wouldn't. I'd start Tony out of the two. Yeah. Mbeumo to Gallagher. Yes, I still like Gallagher. Cornet's not a bad option, although he's massively overperforming any of his data. So I would do it. Yeah, that's probably where I would go. Our team is so similar. I can't catch you. Your 88% template. What are your differences to my team? Bench Wilson or Dyer. Please don't bench Wilson. If Wilson blanks tonight, I'm going to be furious that he's blanked. He's sold me 5 points. And then he gets a yellow card as well. If he walks off the pitch with 1 point tonight, I'm going to be fuming. But don't bench Wilson. Bench Dyer out of those two. Should I sub out Tony for Jota or Bernardo? They're not in the same position. But if you own all three of those, make sure Jota and Bernardo are starting in your team. For sure. Havertz to Jota, Gundo and Bernardo. I would probably go Jota. If you don't own Jota, he'd probably be the one that I would go with. Would I go Sanchez over Ramsdale this week? It's pretty close. I'll probably go Ramsdale. He makes more saves. Start Gallagher or Hwang. Gallagher out of the two. Probably would start Gallagher out of the two. Would I start Hwang or Smith Rowe? I'd probably start Hwang out of the two of those. Bench whom for Moura? Oh, bench one of those. Rafinha, Gallagher or Antonio. Bench one for Lucas Moura. Probably Gallagher. Your only difference this week is Gundo and Wilson. You have Jimenez and Antonio. Fair, that's a pretty tight battle to be fair. Jimenez and Alonso even. That's pretty tight battle there. Start Livramento or Tony. Out of the two of them, probably Tony. Just don't back a clean sheet for Southampton this week. So Foden to Gundogan or Foden bench and play Mbuemo. I'll probably do Foden. Can you not do Mbuemo to someone else? Like sell Mbuemo and bench Foden and play him next week. That's what I would do, Liam. I don't know how much money you've got in the bank, but if you can do Mbuemo to someone half decent this week, that is what I would do. Start Foden, James, or Cornet. I would start... Sorry, how can you only start one? How are you only starting one of Foden, James, or Cornet? No. You're not benching two of Foden, James, and Cornet. I cannot understand that your squad is that good. If I had to bench one, as Foden I wouldn't start, so who do I think will start this week? If that was my team, I'd probably put Cornet first sub. Jaden, this is my final team. I am not going to change it. If I came, would I captain? Nope. Everton have been... Sam, you've got your Everton blinkers on there. Everton have been so dreadful. Gallagher to Gundogan for a -4. No, I wouldn't be doing that. Choose 3. James, Rafinha, Gallagher, St. Maximin. James, Rafinha, St. Maximin. Kane's still a good captain option. He's not bad at all, but he's just no Salah. Please, everyone, go and check your teams. We have 2 minutes to the deadline. Please make sure you go and check your team, that everything is set up as you'd want it to be. Foster is out until the new year, so I'm going to actually start him in my team because I love annoying people like that. So Foster starts. It will make no difference. Don't worry, I don't know what's happened there. I don't know why it does this when you refresh the page. But your 1 month and 2 month badges are the same. Yeah, I could add lots more, like to 1 month. Yeah, to be fair, I should add maybe a blue one in or something. I was thinking of colours and I didn't have time to think about all of them. All right, I'll add one in specially for you. Start Zaha or Gallagher. I'd start Zaha out of the two. Is this my team as I want it to be? Check your teams, everyone. Check your teams. Yeah, Livramento first sub. Christmas tree formation as we go into December. I don't know what's happened on my screen. Everything looks really blurred. Captain Trent or Salah? I would captain Salah out of the two of them. In fairness, it's harder thinking of 6 different colours, so no problem. I can't tell. I think that's sarcasm. Jaden, good luck, everyone. Good luck in game week 14. That will be the deadline. Laser Kid, thank you very much for the super chat. Good luck to you as well. Hope it goes well this week. I am thinking of... Love how you have Foster starting. Yeah, gotta love it. But that is all. Thank you, Lazy Kid. I am thinking of bringing in a mini league for members. There we go. All the emojis in for Sam. Good luck this week, everyone. That is the deadline, and I will see you all again. I don't quite know. I'm not quite sure when to release my transfer targets video, because I could release it tomorrow, but there's still loads of games to go. But then if I release it on Thursday, then it's so close to the next deadline. So it'll either be tomorrow or Thursday. Team selection, stream, the usual bits will all happen before the deadline. Good luck, everyone, in Game Week 14. Enjoy the matches this evening. And yeah, I will see you all very soon. Thank you all. And yeah, goodbye.